Hello and welcome to the very first videos concerning regression. The reason this is going to be a new door, an opening door for many videos that will be discussing regression in varieties of types and of course complexity. This is the easiest one so far. It's going to be completely uh, trivial, but it's going to also now put us in the road of economics thinking. As you notice, we have here a quality sold, and we have a price here. I'm trying to make the very beginning video, of course, of linear regression based on two variable only. The quantity sold is going to be referred to as the dependent because it's going to be determined by how the changes that's going to take place in the price. So this is the dependent variable, and this is going to be the independent variable. As we know from algebra, meaning the price is going to be the X and the quantity sold is going to be the Y. Notice also, if we go back to principles of economics, I'm sure you recall the law of demand, which tells me that if the price goes up, the quantity demanded or quantity sold, of course, they have to be demanded first before we get to sell them, it's going to go down. So when the price goes up, the quantity sold goes down. On the other side of the story, if the price goes down, of course the quantity sold is going to go up. Notice there is some sort of, in my discussion, some sort of an inverse relationship between the two. I could prove that to you very quickly by going and create a chart and also create what we call a trend line. Before we do anything, I'd like to advise you to put the y variable in any chart that you wanted to do on the right side of the independent variable. Let's go ahead and learn it the hard way. So if I did the quantity sold like this and go to the insert and I did create the scattered chart, notice I ended up with the quantity sold as the x-axis, and I'm sorry, the price is going to be on the y-axis. So this is going to be the dependent variable. Traditionally, that's what we have, the y-axis and the x-axis. So I'm going to flip those. Usually, if I go ahead and say switch row and column, due to the scattered style of the graph, it's not going to really make it really meaningful. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and I will be able to copy this one here, or cut it, it's a better choice, and go ahead and paste it here. Now we have the y variable to the right of the x variable. So this is x, and this is going to be y. So of course I could go ahead and delete this one here, and it's going to rename it a for me anyway, so instead of cutting and pasting. And so I could go ahead and do the scattered, insert scatter chart, and notice here we ended up with what we really would like to see, the price in the x-axis and the quantity sold on the y-axis. Of course, if you take a good look at the data, notice the smallest amount or quantity sold is, I could easily do that by using the minimum function. Uh, okay, and by doing this, I'll be able to tell what is the minimum value, and I could tell what is the maximum value in my chart in this case, so I could really make it a little bit better. So it's between 4,700 and 8,500. So I could click on the right button in this area and go to Format Axis, and I could put the minimum of that to be 4,500, and maximum I could put it like 8,000. Instead of 500, I'll put it 600, so I leave a little bit of room between them and hit enter. So this is going to look even better. And of course, I could put here the price. I could put the quantity sold directly by going to the design, and I could add, of course, the axis title, the primary vertical, and the primary. Here we go, the primary horizontal. Just click on that and go to the formula bar and type a quantity sold. And here also you could click on it and go back to the formula and type price. Okay, so now we actually have a meaningful, and you notice that how the different scattered or observed pieces of data is going to are they looking tilted toward uh, the going toward down, and it's going to go into an inverse relationship. Look here, the higher is the price, quantity sold, I'm sorry, the lower is the price. Look here at this very low quantity, how high is the price? But none of that is could make complete sense until we draw a line. When we draw the line, it's going to be able to give us a lot better indication to what's going on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the add chart elements. I'm going to go to the thread line. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and click on it. And I'm going to choose linear. And notice it's really very clear that this is an inverse relationship. Of course, these are, the line is going to have the predicted value, and these are the observed value. So this is the regression line. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the story behind the regression, but let's go ahead and get, first of all, before we get to the regression, to see how we're going to view this line in order to convince us there is the relationship that we stated in the law of demand is absolutely clear. It's what we have said. So there's no question that we're not violating anything. The price goes up, the quantity sold is going to go down, which going to give me a very good indication how the slope is going to look. I'm sure if any inverse relationship exists between the two variables and the slope is inverse, it's going to be a negative slope. How are we going to be able to do that? If we go to this one here and format the thread line, and notice here I click the right button on the line, format thread line, just in case I'm going too fast for your own benefits. I want it to be able to slow down so I'll be able to see that I have the menu for formatting thread line, and I'm going to check into these two very important pieces of information. So I'm going to get the equation of the chart, which is going to give me so much information about what's going on, and the R square. The R square is the correlation between the two variables. Its meaningful correlation is 0.65, so it's not really bad, but it's not really strong as we would have it if it was 0.9, or of course the perfect one would be 1. So this is basically at least the indication that what we are doing, we're going in the right direction. So something we would have to really consider to be a valid relationship. The most important part of this is what is going to be the P1, as we call it in econometrics, which is really the slope. Slope, you know, it's the run divided by the rise, meaning the changes in Y over the changes in X's. And this is the intercept, where it's going to hit the Y axis. If this line continue to go all the way up, it's going to go this way here, and it's going to hit at $9,323.5. So we understand now this actual equation is going to be helping us to predict other values. For example, if I wanted to see what would be the price missing here, is actually we have 253 2,534. So maybe if we wanted to go ahead and see what would be the price at 3.5. So I would go ahead and say this is why it's going to be minus 823.5 a 3 multiplied by a 3.5 plus the intercept, which is 9,323.5. And here we go. At the price of a 3, that's a predicted value or quantity sold at the price of a 3.5. So this is very, very helpful when we do the trade line, and we emphasize that we wanted to get along the equation in the R square. So now we're about to go ahead and show you how we're going to do the regression. We're going to get a lot more information in regarding to how the data analysis is going to produce the result for us. Again, I'm going to go to data, and I'm going to go to data analysis, and I'm going to look at the regression. Here is the regression, and I'm going to say okay. It's going to ask me for the Y range. This is the Y range, even though I moved it to the right. And this is going to be the X range. Here we go, including the title. So the label will be here. I'm going to leave it at confidence level at 95. The output range, I'm going to first of all click here and go ahead and look for a suitable cell like this one here. And I need to get the residual and also the residual plot, and those are going to actually be discussed in a future video. I'm not going to really make it a very, very long video, but at least we need to finish some of the most important things. Of course, I need to go ahead and expand the width because I wanted to see the whole thing. This is the R square, which we really obtained directly from that trend line graphically, so they are the same value, which is an indication there is a relationship between the two variables. Okay, and later we'll be using just R square when we have multiple variables. Here it's very interesting to see. Again, here I wanted to go ahead and show the result. And what we're going to go ahead and look at the significance of F, where I'm going to go ahead and in the significance of F, we need to be able to see if it's reliable statistically, and that is going to be determined by the significant F, which is this value right here. I'm going to go ahead and change that. If this value is less than 0.05, remember we put the confidence level at 95%, so it has to be less than 0.05. If this is less than 0.05, we are okay. Obviously, we are okay. We cannot really disagree that 0.027 is less than 0.05. So this is, again, I'm repeating myself, significant F is going to be less than 0.05. If it happens to be larger than 0.05, then we better stop, of course, the whole regression study, and maybe later we'll be able to look at other alternative. If we have more than one variable, maybe we should be able to delete one of them and so forth. Anyway, we need to look also at the B value. The B value is very important. So in relation to two things, the intercept and also the price. This is the X, okay? And this is the intercept, the value. So the equation is going to be, as you all know, it's going to be Y is assigned to slope. So the slope, which is, believe it or not, it's going to be the coefficient for the price, slope, and multiply by the price, and that's going to be added or minus the intercept. Here we go. So now we want to be able to look at the B value for both the intercept and price. If these values happens to be larger than 0.05, then the intercept is going to be meaningless, and also the price could be meaningless, of course, of the same thing. Happens to be both, if it happens to be bigger than 0.05. Since both of them are less than 0.05, we are in good shape. So in this case, we have 0.0002, and we have 0.027 for the price. And now let's take a look at the coefficients. And this is going to be the y-intercept, and I'll prove it to you in a second, because this is what we have right here. See here? This is basically what we have. This is here we go, this value here, and this value here is going to be the y-intercept. So we have it also from the regression data analysis. And this is the price, coefficient for the price, meaning what? If I increases the price $1 for X, I'm going to reduce the sold items by 823.529. So this is where is the negative coming from, because there is an inverse relationship between the price and the amount sold. So again, we have to do something about lowering the price in order to keep the quantity sold higher. At this moment, for this video, I'm going to stop right here, but I want you to know this is a valid study. It could be better, of course, if we have observed more data, but basically, at this moment, we can see that the significant F is less than 0.05. Both of the p-value are less than 0.05. Everything really is reliable. There is a regression. There is a solid study, and we wanted to make sure that the relationship between the two variables, an inverse relationship, we were able to generate the equation that we could use for predicting any value for X in the future, and of course we could go from there. Thank you very much, and I hope you have enjoyed this one here. We're going to continue in future videos with regression. Have a great day.